We are all together in Doc's hotel room in Chicago. The Radio Hall of Fame induction ceremony just ended. And we are just, it's a mix of like joy and elation and shock. Don't you think, Bob?
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, first of all, it's so nice to be across the table from you here.
I know, and to have everything band is back together.
Yeah, and Lamar, and of course Max, who I know that tonight you saluted Max, but I didn't get a chance to say anything because they only had 5 minutes. And I just got to say, buddy, at this point, because I'm retired now and we've been through the induction of the Hall of Fame, that I wouldn't be where I am in my life without you. I was telling Mary that there were three or four men in my life that made my career better. One was Jim Babb, one was a guy named Cully Charlton, Rick Jackson, and you.
Oh, an awfully nice thing to say. Thank you very much.
You have been the guy who has guided us for all these many years, and you were just so damn talented. Thank you.
I always felt fortunate for the opportunity because I told Lamar, I said, when I first got this job, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I mean, the guy that hired me says, yeah, we want you to do an air shift and we want you to write promos. And, oh, by the way, we want you to work with Bob and Sheri. You know, I was like, oh, okay, fine. You know, and I wasn't sure what to do with the job. And you guys went to bat for me and said, no, we wanted to just work with us at some point along the line. And I'm forever grateful for that, really.
Well, something that is really important too, and if we'd had more time, I would have talked more about this on stage, but our show has a specific kind of a look and sound. And you are the architect of the sound. Like even in the beginning, when before the technology was a little bit easier to work with than it is now, everything was happening live and on the fly because of you. And Bob and I got very spoiled. We got used to being able to say, Max, do you have the sound of reindeers tap dancing and some do-do music? And you, by God, would pull it up.
There's an expression that women use, kind of tongue-in-cheek, and Mary will use it once in a while. And the expression is, I want to be a princess passenger, which means you're in the passenger seat and you're being driven everywhere you want and you're just not worrying about, any bad traffic. I felt like a princess passenger because he was running the show and making sure that I didn't have to think twice except what was I going to talk about.
Listen, when it comes to true weird stuff, I'm an empress passenger. Max, do you have the sound of a head being caved in with a sledgehammer?
I do.
You know what was really amazing tonight? We had at the induction of the Hall of Fame, after it was all over, we had, and I'm not going to mention their names, but big-time radio executives come up to Sheri and me, and one of them is one of the most powerful guys in radio, said, I listened to you near one of your affiliates in upstate New York, that's Hudson, and he told me word by word a bit that we did. And he said, and I was falling down laughing, and I went, I had no idea this guy was listening.
It's crazy. And we have to say that we were shocked and overwhelmed just before the doors opened to go in tonight for the ceremony. Tony said, guys, gather around. And he told us that a group of our listeners formed a closed Facebook group, crowdfunded through GoFundMe the cost of getting us all to Chicago, bought a full-page ad in the program that was the best ad in the program, and sent us all a gift. I started to cry. Bob started to cry. Lamar and Max started to cry. We were all standing there in tears, just so overwhelmed. And Tony was crying tears of relief that he didn't have to pay for.
But he told me privately, that was a lot of money your listeners raised, but Max still cannot have a large orange juice.
Oh, no.
Because we have to plan for the future.
Part of the thrill of being inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame and becoming living legends is the people we were inducted with. One of my favorite people in radio, Mike McVeigh, was in our class, and rock star Alice Cooper, who is also a radio star. He has a couple of incredible radio shows that he's been doing for like 2 decades. He was inducted in our class, and Lamar and Carla had a very interesting Alice Cooper encounter before the whole night even began.
I was really wanting to get the chance to meet him, and we were getting our table assignments or whatever, and he was standing there talking to this guy. And so Carla and I are standing there, and Carla says, do you want to try to talk to him? And I said, well, he's talking to this guy. It looks pretty intense. I don't want to interrupt him. She said, yeah, you're right. So we start to walk by, and he turns. For no reason, he turns, sticks his hand out, and says, how you doing? And I said, I'm great, Mr. Cooper.
You're hanging with Mr. Cooper, were you?
I said, I'm a big fan. I've enjoyed your career. I've just really enjoyed, and we had a little small talk, and he was just so relaxed and whatever. And so Carla says, would it be a problem if could we take a picture? And he goes, oh, yeah, absolutely. So we go to put him between Carla and I, and he goes, oh, no. We always put the beautiful woman in the middle. And he stepped on the other side, and we took a picture, and he could not have been
He's a
any
sweetheart.
nicer. God! And his speech at the thing, I mean, just...
I want to see you bring that picture into your small group at church.
Well, wait. We know this. He has a heck of a rock star thing, but he loves some Jesus now and a great golfer. So, yeah, we're okay.
He kicked off by thanking everyone for being there tonight, reminding the audience that our parents hate him.
Yeah. Such a pro.
God, he was
Such a pro.
great. He was
Such a pro.
so many great speakers. They were great speakers, and I want to speak to the audience that's listening to this. There were a lot of great speakers, and I was amazed at how entertained I was and how fortunate it was to be there to hear all these people. But even if you didn't have any idea who Bob and Sheri were, when Bob and Sheri went up to speak, the crowd had to – it was amazing. It was amazing. Bob was on point. Sheri was on point. And they were just fantastic.
Great audience.
Yeah.
It was a great audience.
And they gave credit to the audience for the GoFundMe thing.
And for just being more than not an audience, but a community and a family.
Yes.
And without them, there's no us.
That's exactly right. So the Bob and Sheri audience got a full shout out to what a great audience that we had.
This is the Hall of Fame Bob and Sheri Show. Hey, Bob and Sheri podcast listeners, this is a little extra bonus content just for you. And our hearts are so full with gratitude for the career that you've made possible for us, for the unexpected that brought us all to tears, secret Facebook group, crowdfunding, because you all know that, we're a little indie operation, and Tony was sweating getting everybody to Chicago for the Hall of Fame. We have never been more surprised. We have never been more moved. And it made an already unexpected, once-in-a-lifetime experience. It took it to a transcendental next level that we were not expecting. We are so humbled and so grateful. There aren't even words. And I want to say part of the reason we wanted to record this for you is, Bob retired back in January, and he's living his best life. And we miss him. And I am so thankful that we got to have this experience together while we're both alive, much less at all, right? And
Are you saying that I have one foot in the grave? Am I the only one here?
Well, no, but they inducted.
I was thinking it, Bob.
Thank you.
No, Lamar, but they inducted people posthumously. Right. And, I bet those folks would have liked to have been alive and in the room. I can't believe we got in at all, much less while we were alive.
I'm much happier being alive than dead going into it.
Right? But I wanted you to have a chance to speak directly to our Bob and Sheri family
Sure.
About your feelings, because we're going to be talking about
Oh
this
yeah, we're never going to shut up.
until people unplug the mics,
Yeah,
right?
we'll never shut
But I wanted you to have a chance to talk directly to the people about the career that you've had and what this has meant for you.
You know, there are about 300 people, I guess, that are in the National Radio Hall of Fame, and some of them I listened to as a kid. This is before Sheri was even born. There was a guy named Murray the K. Murray the K was a New York disc jockey, and when I was 12 years old, I would listen to him on the beach in Connecticut coming over Long Island Sound from New York City. And I thought he was just fantastic. And then I had this little band in high school, and we were playing at a place called the Ice Cream Parlor, which was a teenage nightclub in Westport, Connecticut. And the owner came over and said, Murray the K is here with two of his dancing girls. And he does shtick, and the dancing girls dance, and we were the band. And I was the leader. And so Murray was saying, can you do this for me? And my eyes are just... So anyway, it was a big night. I loved Murray. Murray was the, when the Beatles came, Murray was the roommate of George Harrison. They shared hotel rooms, believe it or not. Murray the K is in, obviously, the Hall of Fame, and so are we. So is this show. And that really got my attention, that somebody who is that big a radio performer, I'm sharing this wonderful experience with. And I was touched. I really was. I can be kind of jaded, but this evening, the evening that we had, really, really touched me. I looked at some of the people that were in there, Cousin Bruce Murrow, and the list goes on and on.
Oh my gosh, Casey Kasem,
Right.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh. Franklin could do a talk-up.
Oh yeah, that man could
You know,
walk up, hit a post.
You get Devil with a Blue Dress, man, he'll nail that.
I mean, some of the names some of the people that are in the Radio Hall of Fame, which is housed at the Museum of Broadcast Communications in Chicago, so it's like so real. Some of the people are like mythic.
They are.
And to be, I said that on stage tonight, like we're in the company of legends, and don't think we aren't so grateful and excited about that.
You know, we've had this shtick that we've done for years and years. We've been nominated as the syndicated show of the year by the National Association of Broadcasters for a Marconi Award. The Marconi Award can just kiss Bob's ass because it means nothing to me now because this is so much bigger. This is, I mean, there's actually going to be our plaque in a place in Chicago. My grandchildren can go there and see it. You know, it's really just wonderful. And I just have to say to the audience, I know it's a cliche, but thank you so much for getting us, number one, and then continuing to support us, to find us, because I don't know what this old boy would be, you know, helping out in the kitchen at a lobster pound in Maine if I hadn't figured this out.
Well, our family of listeners proved our theory, which was talk to people like they're people.
Right.
And not like they're a commodity.
Right.
And give a shit.
Right.
Give a damn about the people who listen.
And be vulnerable.
And be real. And
Yeah.
be real. And, you know, one of the great things about our show, we're a very motley collection of people. I mean, I have the weirdest, most unicorn radio career. Lamar started out as a listener.
Yeah.
And he's now, you know, headlining a show.
Max was a male stripper. A lot of people don't know that.
I was all right. I was making a living.
Yeah.
And Doc was running a think tank in Washington,
Right.
and then took a wrong turn and didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings by leaving, so he stayed with us. Heather gave up. Heather dreamed of a radio career, got one, and took a chance and walked away from an established job with a big broadcast company to throw in with us when all we had was a credit card and a plan. So we didn't expect, when, you know, people can be fake modest. Oh my goodness, I never dreamed. When I tell you Bob and I never dreamed of this, we never spoke of, did we ever speak of this? Did
No.
we ever dare to think that we
For all the years,
belonged?
I never heard the words Radio Hall of Fame
No.
come out of anybody's mouth.
No, we
Never.
never. I tried when I did not listen to TLC about Scrubs. I learned my lesson. I should have avoided Scrubs. When they said don't go chasing waterfalls, I was like, yes, ma'am, I will not go chasing waterfalls. I didn't dare have this as a. Who has this as an ambition?
Yeah.
But wow, is it ever sweet? And
Yeah.
the fact that we are here in the Radio Hall of Fame as our little family, we've been together, almost all of us, since the beginning.
Right.
Even before Doc was working with our show, we worked with Doc. Even before Heather worked just with us, we worked with Heather. Like we are a tight group, and we're very lucky. Luck has played such a big part.
It was something, when Lamar and I were riding up on an elevator, there was a guy that was from Detroit and works for radio stations up there. And that's the one thing he said. He goes, you guys have been all together for a long time.
That's true.
And it's rare. It really is.
It is, especially in this business, which is very nomadic and there's a lot of churn. There's a lot of turnover. And I'm just going to say it, there's not a lot of loyalty. No. There's not a lot of loyalty toward you coming from management. And people are like, hey, I like you and everything, but I got to go. I've got an opportunity somewhere else.
We knew we had to be loyal to each other.
Right.
We did.
Like gangsters.
And it's the only way you weather all the general managers, all the program directors, all the format changes, call letter name changes, and everything else.
And I personally am very lucky to have my wife, Dr. Mary. We're sitting at the airport in Savannah, and she got up for a second and went over to the ticket place. And I didn't know this was going on. And there was one open first-class seat. And she finagled it, and she came over and gave it to me. And I said, no. She goes, no, it's a big deal for you. I want you to have a great weekend. And so I took it, and I was in 1A. So that's the on the aisle, but everybody goes right by.
That's the one I look at and hate first.
Right.
Yeah. As soon as I see 1A, I go,
I have to tell you, I loved it, except when she was walking by. Because I knew she was going to give me the stink eye, and she did, laughing.
And we were at table 1 tonight, which is
yes,
never,
we
Yeah,
which has never happened.
Yeah, that's
front
right.
table.
Now, Kevin and I flew in row 11, but he did steal an extra pack of those free cookies off the flight attendant cart as it came by. So, I felt
That's
like
love,
Special
too.
for
I
you.
felt like a princess.
It was special for you, too.
That's love, too.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Bob, before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want you to have the last word with the people.
I really don't know what to say. Thank you so much for supporting somebody who has loved what he's done since I was a teenager. Had no idea where it was going to be going. But let me just say this. Even back when I was a teenager on 1480 WSAR, I felt that I deserved to be here.
That's that authenticity. That's that authenticity coming in.
It's authentic.
Ahoy there, mateys.
It's 1480.
Thanks, y'all. We owe you everything.